Get some sun. Come on up. Get up and get some right That was quick. Laughing with, I'm not laughing at you.
Get your butt down from there. Bam! Yo, what's cracking? Only one's hanging around. Two came and like it. I don't get, you know what? I don't get, you know what? Some people, you know, they say ADHD. I hope you're still here and I just can't see you because they're playing. Because you know I can go in. Hyper or just attention deficit disorder. Because, boy, I tell you, that's what happens when you eat off a whole lot of plates and you become uncreative. Let me go ahead and help you out with something, okay? Let me give you something right quick. Excuse me. All right, let's see. Okay, all right. Okay. This is gonna mess up some of your heads a little bit. Screenshot this whole thing. Let's go back. We can always go back and go forward. Check this out. Trademark. You see it up there, right? Yeah, I was the first one to talk about it about a year ago. Nobody wanted to believe me. So let's go ahead and look at something before I read. Who's trademarking black culture? According to Patent Office records, Michael Southern of Crazy for T-Shirts, a Chicago company, filed a trademark application for Black Lives Matter. And what does that include? Making a killing off of ignorant son of bitches. Why do I say that? Well, let's go over here. Let's pay attention. And you can ask a trademark lawyer if you want to. African American trademark application. Serial number 9075455. What does it say on there?
But anyway, 907-5142, I believe. Yeah, I think it. Anyway, African American is a trademark of Liu Dingyong. Let me say it again. Liu Dingyong. Dingyong filed in June 3rd, 2021, the African American cover dolls, doll clothing, dolls, beds, dolls, feeding, blah, 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 blah. Trademark. That's not a patent. Trademark. These goofy Negroes who run around wanting to call themselves African American because of goofy people like Umar Johnson and Polite, all these who's probably sleeping with dudes by now, and Omar who's just undercover as undercover can get. He needs to take his butt back down to South America, where his origins are at. His old sorry. Isn't it funny how Sadnetta, Umar Johnson, none of them are from here. Dominican Republic, Panama. And you see why they're not in their countries? Don't give me that they was born here shit. No. During the crack epidemic, somebody came in to get rich. They got educated, got stuck. Semi-educated, it means dumbed down. And to make a killing, they got enough of you dumb niggas and a bunch of pale peckerwoods and Asians who don't know their true history. Ain't my fault. This is not the Great Division. I tell you, I'll slap you upside your head. How many of y'all remember any of y'all was on my Facebook about 10 years ago when I put up the whole thing? I went to real pictures of the real so-called, what you playing with under there? He's getting reckless, y'all. Oh, it's a boy thing, but it's cool. Anyway, the so-called civil rights signed, by a piece of excrement. All right, and I hope all his descendants suffer the most illest of forms. But anyway, if you look on the back, and all it's Indian Civil Rights Act. Fair housing and everything had nothing to do with no mongrel or Mongol. It's ours. Who's marching with them? All them Indians. Funny that you'd be surprised that some of them who want to have you call yourself African American, they in the Cherokee Nation. Blah. Ain't that right, Messy Jesse? I'm just saying, go look at Al Sharpton, fake black ass. All right, you don't have to believe me. Anyway, I put it up there. And they was acting like there was a whole different civil rights act for the... No, there's not. It's only one. And even all the peckerwoods and foreigners coming here are using our Civil Rights Act in order to accommodate themselves with things. But who did that? Who you think? Who's not too smart? The small hat crew. All right? So you got people trademarking your identity. Y'all a bunch of goofies. You're still following these 8440 vibrating low freak idiots who just done gave in to the perversions of who they are. What man you think in his right mind is getting plugged by another man up the butt and they're just gonna make rational decisions? Like, what is wrong with y'all? And what two women are rubbing coochies going, and I'm propounding, I'm just gonna be the best thing for you. I'm gonna raise you young boys to be the best men. What is wrong with y'all? This is not throwing and negating hate. It's unrequired. How about utilizing rationale? How about clarity? Because that stuff is poison. But here it is. They running around calling themselves African American. Trademark like a mug. Don't even belong to yourself. How you like that? And they say, oh, in the 60s, because they didn't like the term Negro. And then just because the FBI come along, oh, we're African American. They had to get you farther away from your own damn land. And you run around here allowing these little chump pump. Wait, look, man, there's a place called Cone Island, South America. It's a mixed symposium, but if you want to see the original people of that part, two distinct people were in both the South and North America. So those who want to get into it. I know Ojibwa up in Canada and Alaska who look like you and me. But you'll never see this lying-ass media, the punk-ass military, or anybody else show you any of that. You won't see no small hat come and tell you, and you definitely won't see no worthless-ass Mormon. Those are the most worthless son of bitches. tell you any truth at all. But here we come. Those of us who actually know attempt to tell some people, and they think it's up for debate. Like, nigga, I'm like, what am I debating you for? Who is you? Debate? You're not even, not even nowhere in the league or in the question of being my equal. Why would I debate you? Debate you for what? To prove what? Something to myself? No, fool. I'm not going to prove nothing to you. I don't care what you believe. I know how it ends, and I know how it can end. That's all I need to know. Don't need to know nothing else. Cats find out sooner or later. So all I got to say, oh, y'all can go, you pull it up. Oh, it's a whole bunch of it. I done pulled up. What makes me search this stuff out? Because I had to see who really created it. And you know what they do. You know what the idiots do, the little peckerwoods. They sit there and go, oh, yeah, thank you, Obama, your highness, puppet, yeah. We're going to go back all the way to the patent office of what's that brother's name in 1830? How you going to patent stuff that we had stuff long before 1830 in the 1700s? The electrical mill, or bill, the reciprocal engine, the rotary engine. Huh? The cotton gin. Huh? All the things that mean something. Don't even want to get to the truth of Nikola Tesla, because most of his documents had everything in relation to Negroes he was working with. Oh, that's right. The FBI went in there and took all that information, thinking it would never be known. That's just stupid. Now, how about all the people he worked with? They didn't kill them all. And the information been out here, just people don't pay attention. And them niggas, them brothers don't want to have nothing to do with you dumb niggas. And especially you Peckerwoods, they detest y'all the most. Or if some of them were still alive that I knew in the 80s, they'd probably be, if they could, they'd run around killing you. But they was old and tall and canes and drinking a white lightning. In the 90s and 100, they ain't care nothing about y'all. They say, well, it's up to y'all now. And y'all damn sure ain't built. Thank goodness I'm built like them, but the majority of y'all ain't built like none. Y'all are a genetic phenom. Let me go ahead and get ready. George Jones, An Original History of Ancient America. Let's turn this down a little more. Because I'm hungry. I got that little Korean lady there. She's about my age, but she just love the fact that I say some Korean words and I know certain foods, And she's like, oh, she gave me 2 things of kimchi. I make my own kimchi, but for those who remember me showing them how to make kimchi, and it's the best kimchi ever made. She gave me 2 different kinds, and this is one of my favorite from Korea. This right here. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? Oh, you want a pool? You got prostate issues? That right there? What? Open your nose, you think it's embalming fluid. And then y'all saw me eating this with my tuna roll. That's Korean style tuna roll. Spicy tuna, mind you. When I say spicy, with this too, very spicy. And a lot of y'all know I eat very, very hot shit. So in order for me to enjoy my Guinness, room temperature, mind you, I've got to have something good in my gut. I have to have, other than my damn gun belt and, oh, fuck it, I'm going to leave it on. It's pinching me anyway. Yeah, good stuff. And every time I go there, she gives me free tuna roll. Tuna roll is $16, y'all. This right here. Organic seaweed. Her daughter and son love them to death, half Spanish. And so they always test my Espanol. And my manager and all of them here, yeah. Oh, man, slow down, goddamn. But anyway, spicy tuna roll. And it's made with the best fresh tuna. Literally smoked by them. Oh, if they're going to eat the food, you better believe if they're serving it, right? Okay. Know who you're dealing with. And she just loved me. She come out, I want to touch you more. You ain't touching shit. And she laughed. I said, when we pull your hair? She said, from the back. Fun, y'all. She's like a little sister to me. So she makes me the best friggin' stuff. Nobody else can't buy this. They can't buy this there. Huh. No. I walk in. Hey, how's it going, guys? So you got the kimchi and eggs? Hey, long time no see, got some for you. And our own people we all hate each other so damn much. I can't stand that. Anyway, and y'all know this is an original history of ancient America by Ella Classic. For those who used to remember growing up, Channel 13, while looking at, listening to the Ella Classic readings. So, okay. For those who remember. Yeah, I'm that old. Anyway. Okay. When we last left off, excuse me, we were right at, there was no entire pyramid, but at most 2 or 3 pyramid sides, and then joined on to terraces or other structures of the same kind. That means connecting. It weren't just like 3 that sat there. They literally connected. Now, you know that's been destroyed. You see what I'm saying? Thank goodness there's some of these things they didn't catch everything. So probably they want to destroy the books or stop printing them now. Anyway, beyond the wall of enclosure were walls, terraces, and pyramidal elevations running off into the forest, which sometimes confused us. Probably the whole was not erected at the same time, but additions were made and statues erected by different kings, or perhaps in commemoration. That's why I said presidents are full of shit. They don't mean nothing to us. But if you want to be something outside and be a trademark or a patent, you are under the crown of a false pretense. They call it a president, like a principal of a school, many of them. Anyway, perhaps in commemoration of important events in the history of the city, along the whole line were ranges of steps with pyramidal elevations, probably crowned on the top with buildings or altars. Now in ruins, of course, and all these steps and the pyramidal sides were painted red. And the reader may imagine the effect when the whole country was clear of forest and priests and people. Obviously, it wasn't clear of forest. That's just stupid. They gotta fancy themselves with the world they've created. Were ascending from the outside of the terraces and thence to the holy places within to pay their adoration at the temple. Within this enclosure are 2 rectangular courtyards having ranges. Now, if you believe they were all temples for worship, you was a nutcase. No, that's not what they were. But we're going to allow them to fancy you with their narrative. Having ranges of steps. Did y'all look into the steps? The people? Okay. Did any of y'all find out about the hot top people? Okay. I hope so. If not, got to dig a little deeper. Anyway. Ranges of steps ascending to terraces. The area of each is about 40 feet from the river. On one side at the foot of the pyramidal was another monument or idol. Or idol. They have to use idol, y'all. That's not a term we use, not even in our languages. For example, sculptured obelisk. That is not an idol. See, that's so stupid. When you start reading and you pay attention and know some things, you see what they've done. Anyway, it is about the same height as the others. In parentheses, it states, in all 14 people, not 3, 4, 5, 6, 14, but differs in shape, being larger at top than below. Its appearance and character are tasteful and pleasing. So they weren't like going to Germany or the Vatican and looking at little boys and sucking on penises with their butts in the back and all that other nasty stuff. That nuanced new age crap that they had to put up there to boldly say, this is who we are, nobody pay attention. We desire to call the particular attention of the reader to the following piece of sculpture, as it will hold a conspicuous position as we advance in this volume. Near this, and in brackets, idol last mentioned, obelisk, let's strike the word idol, please, is a remarkable altar, and we know it's not an altar anyway, which perhaps presents as curious a subject for speculation as any monument at Copan. Monument. And they don't even know how to get it right. They want everybody to believe in the worship and the worship gene that's put in you, or the ideology and the narrative, to which ain't got nothing to do with the truth. The altars, like the idols, the obelisks or monoliths, are all of a single block of stone. In general, they are not so richly ornamented and are more faded and worn, or covered with moss. All differed in fashion and doubtless had some distinct and peculiar references to the obelisk leviathans, or whatever you want to call them, before which they stood. Each of the obelisks, therefore, had a table of sorts before it, and each of the tables of sorts had its relative obelisk to its own, except the one about to be described. Now pay attention. This obelisk stands on 4 globes, question mark, cut out of the same stone, mind you. And it's like almost, mind you, one of them massage things with the 4. Anyway, right? The sculpture is in bas relief. Look that up. Bas relief. BAS space RELIEF. And it is the only specimen of that kind of sculpture found at Copan. All the rest being in bold alto relievo reality. Okay? And by a reference to the map for its locality, we find that it is situated nearly in the very center of the vast temple. Temple Mount. Anyway, this together with its being alone, unassociated with another obelisk, the sculpture being entirely different, and the only specimen, as if it's alive, found there, all the others being in alto, but this in basso, a proof of its greater antiquity, ancient. The very stone seems to find a voice to proclaim that it was the chief altar of Copan. It may be a curious subject, as the chief altar has nothing to do with anything but a name. And yes, that's right. Don't get it twisted, y'all. I told you this language is a compilation of keep you in the dark. And that's what this language is. Anyway, it may be a curious subject, but certainly does not require much speculation to form a conclusion. The description of the detail of the sculpture seems to furnish another reason for believing it to be the principal altar. It is 6 feet square and 4 feet high, and the top is divided into 36 tablets, or squares, people, however you may see, of hieroglyphics, tablets, right, which beyond doubt record some event in the history of the mysterious people who once inhabited the city, and they had to get rid of that. This we distinctly believe, and that the sculpture about to be described translates the hieroglyphs, and those being translated, the event in the history is then arrived at. Whether we have accomplished this or not, the reader will judge as he proceeds, for we have looked upon this chief altar as the Rosetta Stone of the ruins, the keystone in the arch of mystery. Each side of the altar represents 4 individuals, individuals. On the west side are the 2 principal personages, chiefs or warriors, with their faces opposite to each other, and apparently engaged in argument or negotiation, as they think. The other 14 figures are divided into 2 equal parties and seem to be following their leaders. Each of the 2 principal figures is seated cross-legged in an oriental fashion. Why is it got to be oriental? Because this is Asia Superior. People don't get it twisted. And that was Asia Minor. On an hieroglyphic, which probably designated his name and office or character, and on 2 of which the serpent forms part. The description, serpent, you heard that? Yes, serpent forms part. The description reads 3. The engraving shews only 2 serpents. The latter will be received as correct from the accuracy described or ascribed to the drawings by Mr. Stephens, and already quoted as, between the 2 principal personages is a remarkable cartouche. That's people. Cartouche. Containing 2 hieroglyphics, well preserved, which reminded us strongly of the Egyptian method of giving the names of the kings and heroes in whose honor monuments were erected. The headdresses are remarkable for their curious and complicated form. The figures have all breastplates, and one of the 2 principal characters holds in his hand an instrument which perhaps may be considered a scepter. My stomach feels so good right now. I just want y'all to know that. Anyway. each each of the others hold an object, which one can be only. Question now. Question this, people. A subject for speculation and conjecture. Here they go, so they can make everything a theory and an error. So they can deny plausibility and truth. Stupido. We believe them to be, judging from the engravings, spiral shells. The application will be found in the important characters devoted to the analogies. It, in brackets, the object, may be a weapon of war, and if so, it is the only thing of the kind found in Copan. In other countries, battle scenes, warriors, and weapons of war are among the most prominent subjects of sculpture. Those are brand new. Anyway, and from the entire absence of them here, there is reason to believe that the people were not warlike, but peaceable and easily subdued. What usually comes before peace when there was already order of peace? War, right? Who would enact and bring war to us? Not no one of this land. Not no one of this earth. I'm not saying they're not hue of a man, but it's obvious y'all don't pay attention. 13th, Arthur Kessler, the 13th tribe, starting a new discovery about the true ancestry of the Ashkenazi people. It will cause a stir. We can now resume the story of the Rus exit to power where we left it. The bloodless annexation of Kiev by Rus men all around AD 862. This is also the approximate date when the Magyars were pushed westward by the Pechenegs. Yeah, that's right. Thus depriving the Khazars of protection on their western flank. It may explain why the Rus could gain control of Kiev so easily. But the weakening of Khazar military power exposed the Byzantines to attack by the Rus. Close to the date when the Rus settled in Kiev, their ships were a great city for building subs. Y'all know that? Anyway, sailing down the Dnieper, crossed the Black Sea, and attacked Constantinople. Bury has described the event with much gusto, almost like a blitzkrieg. In the month of June AD 860, the Emperor Mikhail III, with all his forces, was marching against the Saracens. He had probably gone far when he received the amazing tidings, which recalled him with all speed to Constantinople. A Russian host had sailed across. Now, remember what I was stating earlier about Turkmen and Rus, Greek, Constantine? Come on, man. The Pope, his Indians, not autochthonous, not aborigine. It's not like that fragrant, fruity boy don't know the truth. Anyway, the Euxine Black Sea in 200 boats entered the Bosphorus, plundered the monasteries and suburbs on its banks, and overrun the island of the princes. The inhabitants of the city were utterly demoralized by the sudden horror of the danger and their own impotence. And the troops, the Tagmata, mind you, which were usually stationed in the neighborhood of the city, were far away with the emperor. And the fleet was absent. Having wrought wreck and ruin in the suburbs, the barbarians prepared to attack the city. At this crisis, the learned patriarch, Photius, rose to the occasion. He undertook the task of restoring the moral courage of his fellow citizens. He expressed the general feeling when he dwelt on the incongruity that the imperial city, queen of almost all the world, should be mocked by a band of Slavs. Sick. A mean and barbarous crowd, but the populace was perhaps more impressed and consoled when he resorted to the ecclesiastical magic. You hear that? Ecclesiastical magic, which had been used efficaciously at previous sieges. The precious garment of the Virgin Mother was borne in procession round the walls of the city, and it was believed that it was dipped in the waters of the sea for the purpose of raising a storm of wind. Raising a storm of wind. No storm arose, but soon afterwards the Russians began to retreat, and perhaps there were not many among the joyful citizens who did not impute their relief to the direct intervention of the Queen of Heaven. And in your head, please stop looking and believe you seeing, because some of y'all ignorant, so you still use the word white. Stop thinking you're seeing white folks. Just stop it. Please. Oh, there's some pale skins. Yeah, yeah, definitely. But it's still a composure. It's not an oddity, it's a mixture. We may add, for the sake of piquantry, that the learned patriarch, Photius, whose eloquence saved the imperial city, was none other than Cassaphas, who had sent Saint Cyril on his proselytizing mission. As for the Rus retreat, it was caused by the hurried return of the Greek army and fleet. Are you listening now? See, the Greeks you see today are not the original Grecians. These are the Khazarian kinfolk. It was caused by the horrid return of the Greek army and fleet. But Cassaphas had saved moral among the populace during the agonizing period of waiting. Toynbee, too, has interesting comments to make on this episode. In 860, he writes, the Russos perhaps came near to capture Constantinople than so far they have ever come since then. And he also shares the view expressed by several Russian historians. I can't help with the rolling R's, y'all, but anyway, historians, that the attack by the Eastern Northmen, the Dnieper flotilla across the Black Sea, was coordinated with the simultaneous attack of a Western Viking fleet. Anyway, approaching Constantinople across the Mediterranean and the Dardanelles. Oh, there's some more war shit in here. We'll get into that. Trust me. And it lays things out. There's a lot of conquering going on here, y'all. Stuff that hadn't happened up until the Khazars, the Ashkenazis, were creating all that problem, fighting and fucking with people. And then the Christianables and the Mohammedans they were just destroying them. And so they had to steal an identity and mix in to those who had no ownership of anything, never had, never will. But it's also almost like a Heimlich maneuver. You got to throw up the bullshit, because the Earth was actually in 860 and 890. A lot of that's lies based on what he's been allowed to learn from that side of his family, which is the side that killed him. He's an Ashkenazi. Arthur Kessler was an Ashkenazi. He just didn't like the lie, like so many other Ashkenazis. But in order to dupe a people, and that's the big thing about these bastards, it's fun. Why everybody runs around the world sick, mental. Goddamn shame. Anyway, Behold the Pale Horse by our brother William Cooper, namaste. He was ignorant as fuck too, but he knew enough on that side. And that's why I enjoy reading and listening to his stories too. I don't know if that's his friend that's doing it on you. Is that his friend who does the reading on YouTube? Does anybody ever listen to him? Because I know some of y'all, I listen to Manny P. Hall 24/7. And a number of other ones. We'll get into them later on. But I think that's his friend that did the recordings. And if it is, please let all of us know. Let me know too, because I just, you know, I listen, but the history I don't know. Okay, my apologies for not showing the books as I should. Okay, the Brotherhood of the Snake or Dragon, as you already know, is the all-seeing eye in the pyramid representing Lucifer in the form of wisdom. Just below the pyramid, you will note Novus Ordo Seclorum, which translated means New World Order. And those of you saw it on the dollar bill, right? Okay. There are 9 tail feathers on the eagle. We went through this. I just wanted to reiterate. And down to the 13, 13, 13 arrows, letters, and annuate co-effects. Okay. 13 in the mystical number number assigned to Satan. 13 is the mystical number assigned to Satan, according to Stan Dale in his excellent book entitled The Cosmic Conspiracy. I told y'all I'm thinking about buying it. Didn't you pull it up, Sue? And how much was it? If you just type in the price, I appreciate it. Again, because she's really, and if you're in here, Lloyd, you're really good at it too, brother. The Cosmic Conspiracy. I believe I ordered it, didn't I? I really do. I think I did. Like, was it $14, $23, something like that? Well, if you're still here, so please put it in there. I appreciate John. Anyway, I read while in naval intelligence that at least once a year, maybe more, 2 nuclear submarines meet beneath the polar ice cap and mate together at an airlock. Okay, and so we creamed that. Okay, with official NASA photographs of the moon base and all that. $34. Okay. I knew it was a little bit. Awesome. Thank you, hon. Let's get over here because I just want to reiterate some of the, so we can not hashtag that. Okay. You must understand that secrecy is wrong. The very fact that the meeting is secret tells me that something is going on that I would not approve. Do not ever believe that grown men meet on a regular basis just to put on fancy robes, hold candles, and grab hand each other. Okay. George Bush, when he was initiated into the Skull and Bones, did not lie naked in a coffin with a ribbon tied around his genitalia and yell out the details of all his sexual experiences because it was fun. He had much to gain by accepting initiation into the order. As you can now see, these men meet for important reasons, and their meetings are secret because what goes on during the meetings would not be approved by the community. The very fact that something is secret means there is something to hide. John Robinson wrote Proofs of a Conspiracy in 1798, excuse me. Again, this is another one. Proofs of a Conspiracy. Why do you think the CIA took theory and conspiracy and put them together? The most ingenuous but disingenuous, dumbest shit. And for all the idiots who run around, it's conspiracy theory. I don't even talk to people. When you say that, I'm like, this stupid motherfucker. And I keep it moving. I don't even care. Cannon fodder, another body. That's another one of your sacrifices. Go get him. And I sure do. Mm-hmm. And I speak it in the wind towards them. Well, may they do with you. Yep. And that's all I'll say with that. Anyway, you're capable of so much, people. and that's 1798, this book, all right? And the writing of it. And I believe he said it best in the following passage from the book. Nothing is so dangerous as a mystic association, the object remaining a secret in the hands of the managers. The rest simply put a ring in their own noses by which they may be led about at pleasure, and still painting after the secret. They are the better pleased, the less they see of their way. Create the chaos and don't even care about what's going on. You created it. Is that some demented shit? A mystical object enables the leader to shift his ground as he pleases and to accommodate himself to every current fashion or prejudice. And this again gives him almost unlimited power, for he can make use of these prejudices to lead men by troops. He finds them already associated by their prejudices and waiting for a leader to concentrate their strength and set them in motion. And when once great bodies of men are set in motion, with a creature of their fancy for a guide, even the engineer himself cannot say, thus far shalt thou go, and no farther. No answers, beginning and end. As long as he created all the bullshit. That's why I say Pelicans are the dumbest races on the planet. If they were smart, they wouldn't be so dumb. Boy, is the common man is the common man really as stupid as the elite seem to believe? If he is, then maybe the average citizen is better off ignorant, being manipulated this way and that, and whenever the elite deem it necessary. What in the fuck is you doing? Excuse my language, people. Thus far shalt thou go and no farther. Is the common man really as stupid as the elite seem to believe? If he is, then maybe the average citizen is better off ignorant, being manipulated this way and that, whenever the elite deem it necessary, mind you. Now, we will discover the answer very quickly when the common man finds that his e-ticket to Fantasyland has just expired. Hello, your e-ticket is fucking been expired. If people would take the time and read some of the shit out here, they could go so much further. Wait, Arthur Edward, A New Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, Combined Edition, Weathern's Books, New York, 1970. Whitmer Richard article on Jason, September. Y'all know about Jason, right? Okay, anyway, National, okay. 1989, the Olympian newspaper, Olympia, Washington. Oh, references and sources, references. Okay. Next, we'll get into chapter 3, which is Oath of an Initiation of an Unidentified Secret Order. From a mother who states that her son took this oath and who must remain unidentified. Now, I read this already. Whoo, child. Now, you know Manny Pugh Hall. He talked big shit about the Masons, and they requested him an audience, and he refused. He didn't want to do it, so he said, "Fuck it, the shenanigans." He became a 33rd, and then he told on all them dumb motherfuckers. That's why I don't respect them niggas. When I grew up, we're talking about they Masons and they building and all this other goofy shit. And I see people who get upset. These little young bucks who think they something. You know, you got that one guy you always follow. Y'all, a lot of y'all still follow him. He works. I'm not gonna say his job. But he rides a motorcycle, he dresses up and all that, Kappa, this, that, and all. He got to belong to every goddamn thing. Be wary. Pay attention to everything. Give a shout out. I'm going to come off of here because I'm going to go back and eat my damn sushis. And then we're going to come back. Of course, I have new books I want to read to you. Okay? Well, just a couple of chapters in them. But DNA of the Gods, Book of Giants, Exposing the Exposition, 1815, 1925, and Heaven Bearers. Okay? Shout out. Rondo, what's going on, brother? Mackie Hill, yes, sir. Sluice News. Okay, good to see you. Good to see y'all. Good to see you. It's just us three texting. Hey, more power to it, man. Hey, Bernard, what's going on, family? What's cracking? Yes. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys coming in. Some people have a hard time doing this, and yet they'll pick their nose. Women will pat your heads all day with the fake ass glue and shit on your head. And yes, men, we did perm my hair, but we didn't use the shit they have. We did all kind of things. We even wore their hair after we scalped them. We wore bison. For them killing the animal, it gave us strength. Believe me, there was a whole lot of stuff going on that nobody ever know about. So they had to bring somebody in with straight hair because most of the pictures that the French always wanted them to put on these wigs and stuff. So that way they can rewrite the narrative. Yet we are still here. We haven't gone nowhere. And we challenge any one of them motherfuckers if they want to get out of pocket. I don't think they do. They'd be better off by joining the original motherfuckers of this land instead of being asinine assholes running around with they faked up, souped up, little jacked up blower and fuckboy Hemi thinking there's something and it ain't nothing. 3% of the fucking population. Nigga, please. But anyway, I love y'all. And hopefully my kinfolk on the other side will get their shit together and wake the fuck up. Every time I see a native going at their mammy and their pappy, tell them stop that bullshit. It's enlightening. And then all of a sudden, here comes a grandma or something and tells the truth. And yes, the youngins get angry at them, but it's just dessert. Stop lying. Come over here looking and shit. Tell them the fucking truth, you idiot. The Sicilians and Italians are telling the truth all the time. The Sicilians more so than anybody. The new breed Italians, yeah, well, you know what's up with Roma. Anyway, it is what it is. A whole lot of people in South America tell you who the fuck you are. You just keep listening to the motherfuckers that don't know how to live right, fucking with drugs, tatted the fuck up, and don't know no goddamn better. Everybody says South America. The first thing comes to your head is Mexico. What the fuck? Or Tijuana. Nigga. Do y'all know how? Y'all better hit Brazil and all that, Peru and Colombia. Y'all better hit some. And motherfucker tell you who you is. And there are enough of them that know who you are. And a lot of them, just because they got a little Spanish in them and this, that, and the other, a little bit of Asian, don't knock that. Two distinct people, motherfuckers. Now, they might not be all of what they was, but goddamn it, they still there. Don't get it fucked twisted. Because we got a lot of niggas here who just is ignorant as fuck. Well, I'm Indian. I found some documents. Y'all just, and some of y'all just making up some shit too. And you just run around with the dumbest ass inversion way of being, and that is not who we are. You say you feel some kind of way, go do a YouTube. Invite me over. Shit. Yeah. Appreciate it. That's for those who come in later, y'all, and talk the big shit. And they need to have their ass spanked. You dig what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys. Again, thanks for the donations. Appreciate it. Get a number. We're going to order some more books. I keep ordering shit. Them motherfuckers is over in the third books. They actually sent me a Gmail. Is this really so-and-so that... Don't you try that shit with me? I guess that's some of the banking stuff that's going on. I don't know. A lot of double purchases going on the banks too. I'm seeing that when there's only one being ordered. Be careful, all right, people? So anyway, I'll see y'all later. Beloved sisters, we're on staying quiet. And Masusu, what's up, baby girl? And to my brothers, 201, you already know.